The next presentation is by Shova, Basnet. Topic: Evaluation of Knowledge, Attitude and Practice on Hepatitis A and E among secondary level students. It's an interventional study.
A warm namaste and a very good morning to all the respected panel of judges and my dear friends. I am Shova Basnet from KIST Medical College, here for a very simple research presentation on hepatitis. But before that, I would like to say that when many advanced countries in the world have already accomplished the wiping out of many infectious diseases and waterborne diseases, the countries like ours are still struggling to wipe out those infectious diseases. So on that note, as being a medical personnel, we cannot overlook such diseases which is causing the day-by-day mortality and morbidity. So on that note, we carried out a research named Knowledge, Attitude and Practice on Hepatitis A and E among the secondary level students, which is an interventional study. Talking about the objectives, my objectives of presentation are to assess the general knowledge about the hepatitis, to identify knowledge, attitude and practice regarding hepatitis A and E, and to explore the effect of educational intervention regarding the disease. So the birth of the idea came when we were trying to do a research and the news of outbreak of hepatitis E in one of the major cities of the countries led us to do this research. So what's the need for this further study? Nepal being a third world country where there is much prevalence of the infectious diseases and waterborne diseases, and also the studies on hepatitis A and E are not much done. So is it a nice sort of study on hepatitis A and E? The source of the studies about hepatitis A and E among the school level students in the country itself led us empty-handed. There are very few studies done among the secondary level students, and to add to it, hepatitis A and E are at arm's length. Thus the study is solely a new concept and a new approach. So while we were reviewing the curriculum involvement, we found that only hepatitis B and C are involved as a lesson in the curriculum of Nepal government of grade 10. So we thought that we'd do this research. This is the book I wanted to show. Now moving on to the methodology, the study type is cross-sectional type of study. Study design is quasi-experimental. Study sampling frame is secondary level students. Sampling unit is the students of grade 9. Tools we used was pre-tested semi-structured questionnaire, and all the students of grade 9 present at the time of study were enrolled, and it was carried out in one of the oldest schools named AVM Higher Secondary School, with the enrollment of students from different parts of the country with variable socioeconomic conditions. Now this is the ethical consideration that we took. Now moving on to the findings. The total sample size is 192. As per the study carried out, 89.4% had heard about the term hepatitis, while 21% had heard about both hepatitis A and E, and 93.1% said that it is a disease of liver. Majority of the respondents answered that hepatitis is an infectious disease. 58.5% correctly said that it can both be prevented and curable, whereas 14.2% said that it cannot be cured at all. So interestingly, on our query to receiving treatment in case they are affected, 8.6% answered that they will visit the Ayurvedic doctor, while 89.7% said that they will go to the doctor. Only 37% of 37 respondents said that they had seen people suffer from either hepatitis A or E. 11 of the individuals had participated in the awareness program on hepatitis, and regarding the practice of eating outside home, 77.5% replied on occasional visit to the street vendors. So what are the results that we got after the educational intervention, which was done in the form of PowerPoint presentation, interactive session, and the WHO method of hand washing was also taught to them, and the pamphlets and posters were distributed among them. So the results we got was, regarding the knowledge change, most of the 72.3% of the respondents said that it is an infectious disease, which increased from 63%, and the change after the educational intervention was found to be significantly associated at p-value 0.005. Regarding the causative agent of hepatitis A and E, 79.5% say that it is a viral disease, and the percentage, we are glad to know that the percentage of the students saying that they did not know about the causative agent decreased down to 2.1% from 11.5%, and it was also significantly associated at p-value 0.011. Regarding the mode of transmission of hepatitis A and E, 46% later on say that it is transmitted by the fecal-oral route, which increased from 35.3%, and those saying that it is transmitted by the unsafe sex decreased from 20.5% to 8.3%. Now, talking about the attitude change of those students, we were glad to know that they said it is because of the unhygienic condition that people get hepatitis A and E, which increased to 54%. And the management of hepatitis A and E, 63% of the respondents said that it is a disease which can both be prevented and curable. And another important thing that we could decipher from the students' knowledge was the students saying that they would visit the doctor increased, obviously, but we are also very happy to see that those students saying that going to Ayurvedic hospitals would cure the liver disease decreased down to 3% from the 8% of the respondents. So, on the final note, discussion and conclusion, overall, knowledge about hepatitis A and E was found to be poor. Students need such awareness program to acquaint them with the infective diseases like hepatitis, which is fatal and is spreading at an alarming rate. Educational intervention is found to be effective in enhancing the knowledge of among the adolescent age group who would share the idea in the family too. The practice is thought to change over time. These are our acknowledgements, and this is the research team with one section of the student. Thank you. Any queries?
Good. I think that was a nice presentation. What about, how long did you, over how many days was this spread out?
So actually it was, we had done in the students of class 9, there were 5 sections. So according to the manageable time, we did, on one day we did up to 3 sections of the students in one day. And after a week we did on the rest of the section of the students.
1 week after taking the
yes, so 1 week
you
to
did the reassessment. After how many days after doing the presentation you did the reassessment?
How many days?
How many days after doing the presentation?
First presentation? After 1 week, sir.
Any seasonal variation?
Yes, the seasonal variation, we had a question regarding seasonal variation.
Was there any significance found in the seasonal variation?
It was not so significant, so we did not keep it, sir.
Thank you.
Any questions from?